All right. So to all our friends at home, this is your second video for today. We're in our workbook. We're going to do a couple pages in here to practice the skill. I'd like you to do the workbook pages at home. And remember, you can watch the video to help with this, okay? So let's go ahead and look at these. Now these are place value discs. How do you know what they represent? Well, if they have a 1 in them, they represent ones. If they have a 10 in them, they represent tens. That seems pretty easy, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and look at this. Unit form. 4 rows, 3 ones in each row will give us how many ones? 12 ones. How do we write it not in unit form? We just write 4 times 3 equals 12. So let's come over here. It's the same thing, but now we're multiplying tens. So we still have 4 rows, but now we have 3 tens in each row. So our multiplication sentence is 4 times 3 tens in unit form. And then how many tens is that? It is 12 tens. So notice what you're doing. All you're doing is multiplying instead of this. 4 times 3, and then adding your unit, which is tens. Well, we don't want to write it in unit form because that's kind of cumbersome. It takes a while. We can replace 3 tens with 30. So 4 times 30 is 120. If you skip counted this, let's skip counted together, class. 10, 20, 30, whoops, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. You would get 120. 12 tens is unit form, 120 is standard form, okay? Now, they're doing the same thing down here, but instead of putting the numbers on the discs, they put them in the place value chart. So when we look at these represent ones. When we look at these represent tens because they're in the tens in the place value chart. So we have 2 rows of 4 ones, right? Which gives us how many ones, everybody? 8. Come on, guys. 8 ones. I think I'm going to keep going 6. Say the next number sentence and finish it for us. Quick. Yeah, you had the easy one. Now let's go over. Those discs have been moved into the tens column, so now they represent tens. Sadie, can you fill in both of these for us? Yep. Yeah, excellent. And so again, if you want to get used to this, boys and girls, what I would suggest, underline the 2 times 4. I call it the hidden fact. The hidden fact in that multiplying by 10 is 2 times 4. And then all we have to do is add a 0 because we're multiplying by 10, not by 1. If we come back up here, what's the hidden fact? 4 times 3. So go ahead and underline that. Please underline those hidden facts. Okay? Really important. Okay, Nick, do you want to slide that up for us? I think we have a couple more that you can see that. See if you can do the next 2 on your own, boys and girls. The multiplication sentence should go with the array. The first one is you're counting ones, the second one you're counting tens. So friends at home, give you a second to see if you get it done. Yes, Jason. Okay, good. I'm going to pull 6 up. Okay, first one, Tate, read it for us. Yeah, and just let's pause for a minute. Remember how Mrs. Reed said every time you have a number sentence, your numbers in your number sentence represent something? What does the 3 represent? The 3 rows. What does the 5 ones represent? The 5 discs in each row. What does 15 ones represent? The whole total. Now, 3 times 5 then, everybody, is 15. Okay, Jace, do the next one for me. 3 times 5 times equals 15 what? Cross up your number. Yep. Yep, very good. And if we look for the hidden fact that we should underline, get in the habit of doing it. 3 times 5, we write 15, and we add a 0 because we're multiplying by a multiple of 10. Turn your page. That was easy, wasn't it? Okay, turn your page and look at the next one. And then we should have time at the end to play the spinner game with girls with your right voice. All right, we have one more just like the other one. If you guys want to go ahead and fill that in. Just like our other ones. Xavier, can you do it before we go on the board so we can tell if he's got it? Good job. When you're done, put your hand on your head so I know we can move on. Just so you know, Kendall and Pendant, these will be yours because you haven't had a chance to time. All right, the first one, I see 4 times 5 ones. So I see 4 rows. I see 5 ones in each row. Pendant, read it for me.
4 times 5 equals 21.
Very good. What about 4 times 5? Go ahead. 4 times
4
5.
times 5 equals 20.
Okay, what's the difference between this and this? This, boys and girls, is called unit form. Why? Because it's actually telling you what units you're multiplying, okay? All right, next one. Kendall, that one's yours. Nice, 200. That looked a little tricky, but all you gotta do is 4 times 5 is 20 and add up.
0.
How simple is that? Okay, let's look at this next one. And we'll do a couple of these. We'll bounce around and I'm gonna have you do the rest on your own. It says blank equals 7 times 2. Well, that's easy. 7 times 2 is double 7, 14. Okay? Let's come over here and do this one. Blank tens equals 8 tens times 3. Well, if I have 8 tens, or 3 rows of 8 tens, I will have 3 times 8 is 24 tens. Okay, let's come back over here and do this one. 60 times 5. Underline the hidden fact that you see in there. What is the hidden fact that you see in there, Riley?
6 and 5.
Yep, 6 times 5. What is 6 times 5, honey? Yep. And what do we need to do? We need to add a 0 because it's not just 6 times 5, it's 60 times 5. So we're counting 5 times 6 times. And then let's come back over here. 5 times 80. Can you do that one for us, Ellie? Or 50 times. 50 times 8. Uh-huh. 5 is 50, so we add a 0, and 50 times 8 is 100. Okay, do the other, what do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. The other 4 on your own. I'll give you a minute or two to do those. And then we have one word problem, and then we'll play the spinner game to practice. Okay? Remember, friends at home, when I say do it on your own, you should try to be doing it on your own also. Then come back to the video and check your work, okay? You should be able to submit your work with all the correct answers and thorough answers if you're watching the entire video. Put your hand on your head when you're done with all 4. I'm going to continue to pull sticks. And your mat will go a unit form one, and I need the help of Mercy. Blank tens equals 7 tens times 2 tens. What are you gonna fill? Read the whole thing.
2 times 7
This one right here. Blank tens equals 7 tens times 2 tens. What word? 14 tens equals. Very good. All we were doing is, think of it as 2 rows with 7 tens in each row. You would have 14 tens, and 14 tens actually is 140, but they're not asking you for that. Oh, this is easy. Kendall, blank equals 8 times 3. Yep. They're really just having you do it both ways, with the ones and with the tens. How about F, William? What did you say, honey? 300 what? Yep. Equals. Yeah, and what hidden factor do you see, honey? 4 times 8. So if you know that 4 times 8 is 32, you just have to add a 0 because you're multiplying by a multiple of times that 3. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Luke, you were the next one. We'll let you help in another one. Jadalyn, 7 times 40. What do you got? Read the whole fact. Okay, and can you tell us what hidden fact you spied that helped you with that? And what is 7 times 4, honey? 28. Very good. If you're not underlining the hidden fact, I suggest you do. You will have an assessment on this probably tomorrow, boys and girls, because it's such an easy skill. This is going to be like a little exit ticket on how you do these, okay? So 7 times 4 is 28. We add a 0 because it's not really 7 times 4 ones, it's 7 times 4 tens. So we get 28 times 280. How are we feeling about this on a fifths to 5? Fifths to 5. Show me where you are in your thing. You don't think you can. Okay. Not really very good. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do the word problem. And then we're going to do our application problem. Then we should have a couple minutes for the spinner game. Okay? So slide that up for me, Nick. So you can use this skill with a word problem because sometimes you have a word problem where it's not just simple multiples, it's bigger ones. So let's look at this together. A bus can carry 40 passengers. What are we going to underline? 40 passengers. Not just one. How many passengers can 6 buses carry? So now we have 6 buses, that's how they're known. It says model with a tape diagram. When we do a tape diagram, we have to figure out, do we know how many units we're going to have? Think about it. We have 6 buses and we have 40 passengers on each bus. How would we draw that tape diagram? Riley, can you help us out? We got 6 buses and 40 passengers on each one. What would that tape diagram look like? Because you know, boys and girls, you do need to be able to solve these on your own. Yeah, so, but we don't want buses. They want us to draw a tape diagram. You got the right idea. So in other words, how many units will we need? 6. Very good. We got 6 units. So let's go ahead and draw a tape diagram because they do want us to use a tape diagram. And we're going to have 6 units. And Riley said 6 units because we have 6 buses. So I'm going to draw 5 lines. This will give me 6 buses. 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then how many passengers are in each one of those buses, Jace? Yes, you may have a math break. Thank you. So let's do Jace's position. So Jace, Quinn, Xavier, Luke, Kendall, and Judy. What are we going to put in each one of our units? Everybody. 40. Thank you, Nevada. Good job, girl. Okay, and we need to know how many passengers 6 buses can carry. So what number sentence would we write for this? And can we do me a favor? Another thing you're going to have to know is how to use a letter for the unknown. Our unknown is how many passengers. So what would be a good letter for trying to figure out how many passengers? Everybody. P, yeah. So go ahead and write a number sentence. Find the total passengers and make sure you put equals P. What number sentence would you write for that? Very good. I didn't switch around. Ken, what number sentence did you choose for this tape diagram? Yeah, very good. Equals. Nice. Excellent. 65 times 40 equals P. So here is a word problem where you're multiplying by 40, and it's probably one of the easiest ones we've done, isn't it? Well, what is 6 times 40? Underline your hidden fact. Kendall, what's the hidden fact in 6 times 40? 6 times 4. And what is 6 times 4, honey? Yeah, so P equals, not just 24, but 240 because we find the hidden fact and then we add a 0. Okay, because we multiply by multiples 10. Last thing we need is a target sentence. How many passengers can 6 buses carry? You can write yes, 6 buses can carry 240 passengers. Okay. Let's go ahead and leave out your whiteboards. You may put your workbooks away. So friends at home, I'm going to ask you to do these 2 pages of the workbook that we really did with you. So if you watch the entire video, you shouldn't have a problem doing those and completing those. Remember, I do want you to complete it correctly because I don't want you practicing incorrectly at home and reinforcing any wrong answers or reinforcing any misunderstandings. So right now we're going to go to our application problem. So I'm going to start a new video for that, okay? It is lesson 19. Lesson 19 application problem. I see Mercer already got it out.